So you probably clicked on this video because you had questions about the Honda lineup. Hi, I'm Justin Thompson here at Smail Honda in Greensburg, PA, and I want to discuss the different trim levels that you have with each Honda model that's out there. So what makes Honda so great? You know, the reliability, the dependability, the longevity, the overall low cost in ownership, the low maintenance costs throughout owning the vehicle as well. I have a Honda Civic and I enjoy the fact that I have a monthly payment, and outside of that, besides wear items and gas, it's a very low maintenance vehicle and low costing vehicle as well, and a fantastic resale value. And I'd like to start off by talking about the sedans. We have the Honda Civic, and the different trim levels that you get with the Honda Civic, I'll explain from the lowest level to the top level. You have the LX, you have the Sport, you have the EX, Touring, and you also have the Civic Si, which only comes in a standard manual transmission, and then also the souped up Type R. Now where you're going to start to see the differences in the trim levels from a EX to a Touring is when you're going to add leather interior in that vehicle for the Civic. And next we'll talk about the Civic hatchback. So a hatchback is technically 5 doors. You have 4 doors just like a normal sedan, but instead of a trunk, it's going to have a lid that opens up in the back. That makes it very easy to put the back seats down, and you're able to store stuff in the vehicle that normally you wouldn't be able to store in a sedan. With the hatchback, you have the LX, you have the Sport, you have the EXL, you have the Sport Touring as their top level. So don't get that confused with the sedan. Sedan's just Touring. So if you're Sport Touring, you're referring to the hatchback. And where you start to see the differences is between the Sport model and then the EXL, which is going to provide the leather interior in the EXL model. And next in the sedan lineup, we have the Honda Accord. And you start off with the LX model. You can start to see it kind of is similar with each lineup here. The Sport level is above that. The Sport SE, which SE is significant to Special Edition. And then we have the EXL and then the Touring model of the Accord. And again, where you start to see that difference between cloth interior to maybe a leather interior, you're going to get into it a little bit in the Special Edition, the Sport Special Edition, but really move into it in the EXL model. And next we have the Accord Hybrid. The Hybrid comes in a few different trim levels. Their base model is actually, ironically, called the Hybrid. And then you have the Sport trim level, EXL, and then also a Touring level of the Hybrid. From here, we'll move into the crossovers. And the smallest crossover the Honda has to offer is called the HR-V. And right now we are in the 2023 model of the HR-V with 3 trim levels. You have the LX, Sport, and EXL. And you can start to see that that L in the EXL is more significant to the leather interior, and that's exactly right with the HR-V. That's where you're going to transition into the leather interior of that vehicle. And also to mention, this is a brand new redesign with Honda. So the HR-V came out first in 2016, and they have kept it the same virtually, throughout its life. And now they have the brand new refresh of the outside and inside of the vehicle. So come and check it out. It's awesome. And next we have the CR-V. And that has a few different trim levels as well. You have the LX, the SE, significant to the Special Edition, EX, EXL, and Touring model. And the EXL is where you're gonna move into the leather interior. A lot of the vehicles that I'm mentioning from a Sport trim level and above, depending on the car, is usually gonna come standard with a remote start system. In the CR-V Hybrid, you have 3 trim levels. You have the EX, EXL, and Touring. And brand new for 2023, we have the redesigned Honda CR-V that will come both in gas and the hybrid vehicle. And I'll explain to you the different trim levels. With the gas power, you're gonna have the EX and EXL only. And then in the hybrid, you'll have the Sport and Sport Touring. Moving up from the CR-V with more interior space, you're gonna have the Honda Passport. And there are a few different trim levels of the Passport. You have the EXL, Trail Sport, and the Elite. So you're wondering what the Trail Sport is, because that's the first time you heard me say that. The Trail Sport is a specific trim level to the Passport and some of the other Hondas I'm about to mention. So the Trail Sport has more rugged tires and an outside look that's tailored to an off-road vehicle. So you have some fender flares on there as well. And moving up in space, we have the Honda Pilot. Now this is our 3rd row vehicle, our 7 and 8 passenger vehicle. In the Pilot, you have a lot of different trim levels. You have the Sport, you have the EXL, you have the SE, again, Special Edition. You do have the Trail Sport, which is similar to the Passport Trail Sport trim level. It's going to have a similar kind of look. The Touring, Elite, and Black Edition. And every year, Honda comes out with different colors for the Black Edition. They've now added a few different ones than just the exterior black color. You have the Crystal Black Pearl, of course. Platinum White Pearl, and Sonic Gray Pearl. And moving up from the Honda Pilot, we do have the Honda Odyssey van. And we have a few different trim levels of that, of course. The EX, EXL, Sport, Touring, and Elite. And where you start to get into different levels like the leather interior and more luxurious, you're moving into the Touring trim level of the Odyssey van. And the most unique vehicle in the Honda lineup, we have the Honda Ridgeline. And this is our truck. And we have some good trim levels of the truck. It's a very popular vehicle, in fact. You have the Sport, RTL, RTLE, and Black Edition. And unique with the Ridgeline, you have the tailgate that opens two different ways. You can just pull it down in front of you, or you could sway it from the side, so there's a release from underneath. And that makes it easy to get into the back bed of the Ridgeline and slide material and be able to get stuff out of the bed, of course. And then underneath you do have like a tub. There's a storage compartment with a plug that you can actually put ice and sodas in there. If you're ever tailgating, you can unplug it and it will drain out. And also in the upper trim levels of the Ridgeline, the RTLE and the Black Edition, you're gonna have a rear entertainment center that's the speakers inside of the bed of the truck. So while you're tailgating, you'll be able to enjoy that music outside. And those are all the trim levels and all the different vehicles that we have in the Honda lineup. If you have any questions or want to visit us online at smailhonda.com, you can leave a question in the comment section below or visit me right here on Route 30 in Greensburg, Justin Thompson. Thanks so much for watching.